Krishna Hare Krishna to one and all. Thank you for joining us for this evening's Namahatta program. It's nice and cold outside, but we have the heater and we have everybody's love and radiant smiles that are lighting up the place and warming up the place. So the start of this week was not a very nice one. We had a bit of a bad start. On Monday, the 3rd of June, we had a tornado that hit our area. Sea tides, Desanaga, parts of La Mercy, parts of Tonga that were affected very, very badly. For those of y'all, many of us that have had personal problems and challenges that we faced with this tornado, we offer our deepest sympathies for any damages, any injuries that may have happened in your homes and in your families. It was something very unforeseen, and if I can speak for myself, I moved into Sea Tides in 1986, and I grew up and my entire life I've been here. So to wake up on Tuesday morning to daylight and seeing the destruction and the damage in our neighborhood has been very, very heartbreaking. It is very sad to see the communities that have been affected. Many of them had to evacuate. And once again, Mahaprasad Prabhu and Madhurya Mataji came to the rescue. They've been busy with Food for Life the entire week. On Tuesday, Wednesday, they've been out providing meals for all the areas. And I actually even went on Wednesday to areas like Sandfields that I didn't get a chance to go to before. And it was absolute sad, heartbreaking sights to look at. Very, very sad indeed. So we pray that everybody's homes are very nicely recovered and they can construct it again, and everybody's families are going to be okay from all of this. It was a very dark cloud, but in our Namahatta, every cloud has a silver lining. And on Thursday, the 6th of June, was the birthday of a very, very special and dear devotee whom we all love, we admire, we respect, and that is Madhurya Mataji. So huge round of applause to her. So we have some celebrations planned a little later in the program, but for now, it is my honor and privilege in introducing our speaker for this evening. His Grace Atri Rishi Prabhu. A huge round of applause to him. Hari Bol. Many of us are familiar. Prabhu has come and graced us with his presence before. He's been here to our Namahatta and we've enjoyed his classes. And I must say, Prabhu, when Madhurya Mataji and I were discussing this Namahatta around her birthday, the very first person that she spoke about was Atri Rishi Prabhu. And she said, I'm going to check with him and I'm going to pray that he's available and that he can come, because you are so dear to all of us. So thank you so much for making the time to come. I know it is far, but yet here you are. So just a little bit of information about Atri Rishi Prabhu for those of you all that may not know. Is there anybody joining us for the very first time at Namahatta? Please raise your hand. Hari Bol, a huge round of applause to them. Very warm welcome to you all, and we look forward to seeing you all at future Namahatta programs as well. I would think that this is Kaliksha's dad. Oh my word, I could just see the face. A very warm welcome to you all. So Atri Rishi Prabhu was very fortunate to receive a scholarship to study dentistry in Bharat Bhumi and visited Sri Vrindavan Dham in 1985 when he was almost 19 years old. As a student, he regularly attended classes at ISKCON, Hyderabad, and visited various holy places during his holidays. On his return, he married Ansuya Devi Dasi, who is such a wonderful Mataji, and they both were fortunate to receive initiation from His Holiness Srila Krishna Das Goswami, His Holiness Srila Krishna Das Swami in 1995. They have two children, a daughter, Rajeshwari Priyadasi, and a son, Kanhaiya Das. I'm sure many of us know Kanhaiya for his absolutely beautiful voice and melodious Kirtans. So let's give him a round of applause as well for the very lovely Kirtan we just heard. Apart from Pujari Seva at Sri Sri Radharadhana, they worship Sri Sri Gaurnitai at home and regularly arrange Kirtan and Katha for the pleasure of Sri Sri Gaurnitai. As a family, they enjoy visiting holy places, reading and singing bhajans together, and most of all, spending time with the devotees. As we can see, they are here with us this evening. So a huge round of applause for Prabhu.
Haribol! 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 Haribol!
So today I just brought one book, devotees. Don't have to be too worried. So if everyone could smile, their most beautiful smile, and raise their arms in the air and say, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
So everyone can put their arms again and do like this and say Haribol! And if everyone could give the La Mercy committee for organizing all their wonderful services and Food for Life a round of applause. Hare Krishna, so I'm very excited to be here in the presence of so many wonderful devotees and to be able to speak a topic that's close to my heart. I could have been around 12 years old attending our Namahatta, and I was asked to give a talk. And the topic I chose was Harinam Sankirtan and the beauty of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. As a youngster, I was very impressed that simply by going on Harinam procession, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with the devotees, not only the moving living entities like human beings and animals got liberated, but also the plants, the trees, the insects. So this point made a deep impression on me, and I simply loved the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the congregational chanting of the Lord's name thereafter. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Om Ajnana Timirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Krishna Das Swami Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavani Paschatya Deshitarne Vanchakalpatrivyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And if everyone could join me in the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare. Just got to remember the time. We don't have a clock here, Madhurya Mataji. Next time. So today we're going to look at some beautiful verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam concerning this human form of life and regarding the Harinam Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam 11th Canto, Chapter 9, verse 29. We're going to do the English, and I would really appreciate it if you all could repeat, so that this important information sinks a little bit more into our minds and hearts. After many births and deaths, one achieves the rare human form of life, which, although temporary, affords the opportunity to attain the highest perfection. Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life, as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died. After all, sense gratification is available in the most abominable species of life. Whereas Krishna consciousness is only possible for a human being. And the word that's used in this verse, a sober person, and we have a wonderful devotee in our midst. His name is Dheeraj. Can you stand up, please? We've just met him. He's the uncle of Shamanite. Hare Krishna. So the word used here is dhiraha, that we must be very, very sober and try to understand that this human form of life is very, very short and very temporary. And any intelligent person has to seize this opportunity to make rapid advancement in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, this opportunity is absolutely lost. Dear friends, we are living in this age called the age of iron, Kal Yuga. We hear about the glories of Sat Yuga, the golden age. We hear about the glories of Treta Yuga, the silver age. We hear the glories of Dwapara Yuga. But when it comes to Kal Yuga, the iron age, everyone is filled with disgust. Because in this age, it is stated in Bhagavatam, Manda sumanda matiyo man bhagya hi upadrita. Life is short, but people are always in conflict with each other. They're lazy and they're misguided. However, this age has such an important quality that even the Devtas in Swarglok, they are envying us. Can you imagine anyone envying inhabitants of Bharatvarsh, this earth planet, and living in Kal Yuga, which is the most degraded of all the ages? The inhabitants of Swarglok are looking at this earth planet and they are thinking, these inhabitants living in this golden age of Kal Yuga, in the era of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we don't understand what pious activities they may have performed, what they may have given in charity, what yagyas they have performed, because they were able to be born in this particular golden age, in the age of iron. Because simply by performing a congregational chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna, they are able to go back to the spiritual world. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Devis and Devtas, they are considering that for us to be in Swarg, the heavenly planets, we have given so much in charity. We have performed so many different types of yagyas, sacrifices. We have performed so much of austerity just to be able to get into Swarglok, heavens. But now that we are in Swarglok, what are we doing? We are busy with sense gratification so much that we hardly get a chance to even remember the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And just look at this denizens of the earth planet. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, they can attain Golok Vrindavan. Therefore it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kaler dosh nide rajan asti he eko mahan gunaha kirtanat eva krishnasya mukta sangha param praje. Shukadev Goswami instructs Maharaj Parikshit, my dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Bo.
one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Devotees, we want to chant this beautiful verse of the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam together. Would you like to join me? Please repeat. Kaler, Dosh, Nide, Rajan, Asti, He, Eko, Mahan Gunaha, Kirtanat, Eva, Krishnasya, Yukta Sangha, Param Raje. Kaler, of the age of Kali, Dosha Nidhe, in the ocean of faults, Rajan, O king, Asti, there is he, certainly Eka, one, Mahan, very great Gunaha quality, Kirtanat, by chanting Eva, certainly Krishnasya, of the holy name of Krishna, Mukta Sangha, liberated from material bondage, Param, to the transcendental spiritual kingdom, Rajet, one can go. So this beautiful verse endorses that although this age is full of faults, there is one good quality, and that is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Goes on to say on the next verse, Kriteyad Dhyayato Vishnam Tretayam Yajato Make Dwapare Paricharyayam Kalotad Dhari Kirtanat. Please repeat. Whatever result was obtained in Satyug by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifice, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when our Krishna consciousness movement was introduced, it became popularized by Nagar Kirtan, the congregational chanting of the Lord's name in the street, which we often refer to as Harinam. And many people would have been thinking that, in the past, we've done elaborate pujas at home. All different colored powders were being offered, different sweets. We performed so much yagyas. And what is this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare? The devotees are chanting. But just from these two verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can understand that this is the most confidential and the most easiest process by which we can go back to the spiritual world. Srimad Bhagavatam concludes by further elaborating on the glories of chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna congregationally. Anyone knows the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam? Would you like to learn it? Very easy. Please repeat. Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Pap Pranashanam Pranamo Dukha Shamanas Tan Namami Harim Param. 3 words at a time. Are you ready? Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukha Shamanas Tannamami Harim Param. Nam Sankirtanam. The congregational chanting of the holy name. Yasya. Of whom? Sarva Pap. All sins. Pranashanam. Which destroys. Pranamaha. The bowing down. Dukha. Miseries. Shamana. Which subdues. Tam. To him. Namami. I offer my obeisances. Harim. To the Supreme Lord Hari. Param. The Supreme. You're ready again? I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, Shri Hari. The congregational chanting of whose holy names destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. So devotees of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita requested us to surrender to him. And although all this information was in Srimad Bhagavatam, we didn't have much clue that the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord is a yuga dharma of this age. And this is our most important engagement. Friends, if we have just 10 minutes to pray in the morning with our family, what should we do? We should get together, offer our respects to Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and chant the holy names of the Lord, especially the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is stated in the Kali Santana Upanishad, the Vedas, Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmashya Nashana Nataha Parotalopayaha Sarva Vedeshu Drishyati. All the Vedas conclude that the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the most sublime method and process to destroy our sins and go back to the spiritual world. In a similar way, there are so many verses in Srimad Bhagavatam and in the other scriptures like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Vedas and Puranas that conclude that the method of going back to the spiritual world and making our human life successful is to chant the holy names of Lord Krishna. I would like to read a beautiful katha. This story is very instructive because it gives us an idea that what happens if we are in a difficult condition and somebody prays for us. It also gives us an idea of what happens in our life when we become dedicated to serve our deities like Lord Jagannath or Gaur Nitai. It gives us an idea of what happens to us when we preach about the holy names of the Lord, and most importantly, it gives us an idea of what happens when we get together, even among a few of us, to chant the holy names of Lord Krishna. This is a beautiful story that was written by Ananda Vrindavani from Mayapur. She had a near-death experience and she was requested to relate her story. So we'll read it. Mataji Ananda Vrindavani is a senior devotee, educator, and member of the Sankirtan Harinam group in Mayapur. Give me 1 second. Explanation of the Mahamata. She says, she was requested to tell this story because this story is life-changing and it has the potential to inspire, uplift, and deepen our understanding of devotion and the path of Krishna consciousness. So Mataji writes, Ananda Vrindavani. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Recently, devotees asked me to share the story of my near-death experience and the mercy of Lord Jagannath. So with their blessings, I will now try to briefly describe this experience, hoping that it may help someone just as it helped me. It happened in January 2020, not too long ago, while we were living here in Mayapur. Let me clarify that I was perfectly healthy and had no plans of dying anytime soon. In fact, during that time, there was a devotee in Mayapur hospital whom I volunteered to take care of. I thought I could serve her and gain some experience in how to face death properly. Experience that may that might be useful for me in 20 to 30 years' time. I had no idea that on my scheduled day of duty, I would find myself unconscious in the adjacent room, needing the holy name myself. But as it turned out, death can come quite unexpectedly. Friends, if you can just keep that in mind. Even when we are in good health and not anticipating it, this means dhira, sober. Death can come at any time and be gone. During those days, I experienced a great deal of stress, which led to illness. For several days, I suffered from vomiting and couldn't eat or drink. After 3 days, the electrolyte levels in my blood dropped drastically, causing excruciating pain and frequent loss of consciousness. I was taken to our Mayapur hospital and then transferred to a clinic in Rana Ghat. Later I learned that the lack of potassium and magnesium can lead to paralysis of all muscles and organs in a person. I found myself in a state where all systems in my body were shutting down. My heart couldn't pump, the digestive system stopped, toxins entered my body, and my lungs struggled to breathe. I was gasping for breath, in terrible pain, and unable to think as the toxins affected my brain. I was in complete panic, realizing that this might be the end. Dimly, through a hazy gaze, dimly through a thick haze, I remembered that I needed to call for someone, say something, but due to my brain not functioning, I couldn't recall whom to call. Devotees, who do you think she was supposed to call? Yes?
Krishna.
Everyone did.
Krishna. Krishna!
So she was thinking that she had to call for somebody, but she couldn't remember who she's supposed to call for. And she was already how many years in the movement? 23 years in the movement. Brain not functioning, can't think. She knows we have to call for someone but can't call. Panic stricken. Those were dreadful hours, oscillating between unbearable pain and losing consciousness. By that time, I had been practicing Krishna consciousness for 23 years. Apologies, it came now. Many times I preached to my students about the importance of remembering Krishna at the time of death. Why is it important to remember Krishna at the time of death? Yes, because when we remember Krishna at the time of death, that is our final test. And what does Lord Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? What's the verse? Antakale. Antakale chama eva. What you think at the time of death, that state you will attain without fail. Antakale chama eva. Smaran mukva kalevaram. So, she was preaching to her students, we have to remember Krishna, because when we remember Krishna at the time of death, that's the final test. We must be able to pass that test. And she couldn't even remember Krishna herself. Imagine that. We discussed how to die properly, and I was confident that when my time came, I would simply focus my mind on Krishna. However, it turned out to be not as easy as I thought. So I think we can resonate with that. And we may think it's going to be easy for us to remember Krishna at the time of death, but he may not be. Unfortunately, please keep note of this. Throughout my life, I hadn't put in the effort to chant the holy name with attention. With? Devotees with? Attention. That's a very important point. Often I chanted while multitasking. I do that. Anyone else? So here we can understand that it's not the best idea. We have to chant with attention and give our focus to the holy name. Feeling too busy with preaching and various services, assuming that someday, miraculously, due to my service, I would develop a taste for the holy name. But it didn't happen that way. One spiritual teacher once said that many devotees make a mistake of thinking that just by serving in ISKCON, neglecting the japa, they will eventually attain pure devotional service. And she says, I was one of those devotees. And is there anyone else who thinks like that? That just by serving and neglecting our japa, we can remember Krishna at the time of death? I'm guilty of that. And in the moment of death, I realized that my inattentive chanting had let me down. We might think that we can intellectually remember Krishna since we sometimes do it during our lifetime. However, as my experience showed me, during death, our intellect shuts down and only our mind remains. We can't forcefully think of something, rather our mind takes us to what was most dear to us during our life, what we considered our refuge. So after 23 years of spiritual practice, at the moment of death I panicked and my mind was filled with thoughts of my mother, not Krishna. I simply called out for my mother, completely forgetting about the Lord. Somewhere deep in my consciousness, I knew I needed to call someone else. But due to overwhelming pain, I couldn't remember who to call or what to say. At that moment, the doctors informed me that I was on the verge of death and could pass away at any moment. The news was relayed to devotees in Kazakhstan, where a Sunday program was taking place. Fearing for my life, the compassionate devotees started a 3-hour Kirtan, praying to Krishna to help me. And what do they chant? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Through their prayers, Krishna showered His mercy upon me. Devotees, point to note that if you are so fortunate in your life to have good devotee friends, at the time when you need them the most, and if they chant the holy names of the Lord, imploring Krishna to intervene and help you, Krishna listens to their prayers. Develop a good devotee network who can help you when you need it the most. The holy name is not confined by material space, and their Kirtan in Kazakhstan, devotees, this is former USSR, for those who may not know, reached me in the hospital in Rana Ghat in this way. Once again I regained consciousness and let out a cry or moan due to intense pain. At that moment an Indian nurse leaned over me and sternly said, "Why are you crying? Just keep chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare."
Jai Prabhupada.
As I later found out after recovering, this nurse was a Muslim. When Krishna wants to work his magic, He can use anyone as his vehicle of deliverance. And even she refused. She found out after recovering that the nurse was a Muslim, and she even refused to accept books by Srila Prabhupada from me when I was discharged from the hospital. When I asked her why she advised me to chant Hare Krishna in the intensive care unit, she simply shrugged and said, I don't know. Hare Krishna. So devotees, we must appreciate the chanting, the power of chanting the holy name, even if it's done thousands of miles away. We must have faith that Krishna will force us to remember him somehow or the other when the time comes for us to take our final breath if we continuously engage in his devotional service. Somehow hearing the words Hare Krishna from her lips brought immense relief. I finally remembered what to chant at the time of death. Gathering all my strength, I attempted to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. But unfortunately, all my muscles, including those for speech, were completely paralyzed. I could only murmur incomprehensibly. Mahamantra not coming out. I couldn't properly chant Hare Krishna. This threw me into despair and tears streamed from my eyes. As I tossed and turned and whirled in the bed, surrounded by tubes and hoses. I then heard the voice of a doctor addressing the nurse, asking who I was. She replied, she is from ISKCON, and then miraculously, the doctor sat down next to me and started singing, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishyabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Chanting the holy names of the Lord, chanting to Sri Krishna, chanting to Srimati Radharani. And he then began to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thus, the Kirtan of the devotees in Kazakhstan manifested itself for me through him in the hospital in Ranaghat. Again, Krishna sent someone. Feeling immense gratitude towards this person as well as profound remorse for my foolish life and offensive chanting, I left my body. I was fearful because I realized I had failed the test completely. I thought to myself, what a fool I've been to treat the holy name so superficially throughout my life. I scolded myself, and at that moment I suddenly saw my deities, whom I've been worshipping for 23 years, Lord Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra.
Haribol!
Baladev and Subhadra were in the distance and I could only vaguely see them. But Lord Jagannath stood very close and was vividly visible. Suddenly I saw that all the deities of Lord Jagannath were actually in one Lord manifested in multiple forms. Then I saw him in a human-like form. It was Jagannath, but at the same time it was Krishna. Continuing, my whole life passed before my eyes like a movie reel, and I saw that during this entire movie, while I played various roles, Lord Jagannath stood by my side. He was always protecting me. I'm going to ask Mataji to send this on the WhatsApp group. Madhurya Bhakti Mataji, okay, so you can read it. Reflecting on my entire life unfolding before me, I understood that Lord Krishna never abandons his devotees, no matter what their circumstances in. Krishna stands with us. And I'm coming to the most important point of my talk here. Moreover, Krishna revealed the most important aspect of my life while the tape of my existence was playing. He showed me that the most significant moments were the kirtans in which I participated. The kirtans in which I participated. It was astonishing because I saw in detail every kirtan which I chanted throughout my life, even those who just 3 or 4 devotees. He didn't show me what I considered important material events, but rather what was important to him and to me as the soul, the joint chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna. During each kirtan, streams of radiant energy in gold, blue and pink hues rose from the chanting devotees and reached the heavens, filling the entire universe. So let's try golden, red, blue hues rising from La Mercy and filling the universe. Can we try? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It was strange how even small kirtans performed by a small group of devotees possessed such incredible power. The holy name is boundlessly potent, and our attempts to chant it are so dear to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So devotees, I hope that beautiful katha of Ananda Vrindavani was inspiring. I would like everyone to always chant every day with their family members the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because this will purify your ashram and purify your heart and purify your you'll become successful and you'll be able to go back to the spiritual world simply by engaging in this easy process of congregationally chanting the holy name of the Lord for the pleasure of Krishna. So, I want to conclude by playing Srila Prabhupada's glorification of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is recorded, which has been written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his spiritual master. And Prabhupada speaks this very eloquently. And I didn't want to mention and overlap what Prabhupada said, so please listen very carefully. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki. Yugadharam Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki.
This transcendental vibration and chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the supreme method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual soul, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with matter, from time immemorial, our consciousness is
Shagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Yugidharam Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, and a very big thank you to His Grace Atri Rishi Prabhu. A huge round of applause to him.